Welcome to Caffeine and Clarity, your weekly pour of soul-sparking reflection. I'm Amaray, and this is where the coffee is hot and the insides are honest. Around here, we unpack the tiny aha moments that shake us, shape us, and help us grow. Then we give them space to percolate. So grab your favorite mug, settle in, and let's make sense of the mess, one story at a time. Welcome back to Caffeine and Clarity, the cozy corner where we sip slow, think deep, and meet life's messy middle with a whole lot of grace. Today, I'm opening a very personal book, one I started 6 years ago for my daughter and have been quietly filling in ever since. Inside its coffee-stained pages is a line that once guided me, and one that I forgot to live by. So, grab your mug, settle in, and let's talk about being better, not perfect. If you're folding your laundry, driving, or walking your neighborhood loop, let this feel like a letter you didn't know you needed. The kind that sits beside you at the kitchen table and says, "You're doing more right than you think." Deep breath in and slow breath out. Let's begin. The other night, after everyone was asleep, I found myself perched on the living room floor, flipping through this plain, worn notebook. No leather binding, no pretty ribbon, just my handwriting, a few tear smudges, and the faint scent of coffee. I started the collection on a whim. Little love notes, random remember this moments, prayers I wasn't brave enough to say out loud. Some entries are barely 3 lines. Others ramble on like an epic saga of lost shoes and belly laughs. On the very first page, I had written, "Mothers aren't perfect, but we do the best that we can with what we have. And what we have is a very heavy load of our own past, full of life, love, regret, insecurities, accomplishments, failures, and several issues best unmentioned. Having a child opens a new chapter to become better versions of ourselves. And better isn't perfect. It's just better." Reading it again hit me like fresh espresso. I'd forgotten I wrote those words. And worse, I'd forgotten to live them. I flipped to a few entries that still steady me. I won't read them for privacy reasons, but here's the shape of them. A short note about a day that didn't go as planned, and a simple repair that relieved it. A long-winded story where she tried something on her own that was out of her comfort zone, and how proud I was of her for doing something unfamiliar. An apology letter from me for upsetting her. What struck me wasn't eloquence. It was evidence. Page after page of ordinary moments adding up to a very real life. None of it perfect. All of it true. And it hit me. The scenes I kept aren't the curated ones. They're the honest ones. The ones where I chose presence over performance, repair over being right, connection over choreography. I closed the book and sat with a quiet question. If better is the story I write to her, why am I grading myself by perfect out here in the real world? Lately, I've been sprinting on the quote unquote be more treadmill. Be more patient, more healed, more organized, more everything. My inner critic loves a checklist and hates context. But the line from the page kept tugging at me. Better isn't perfect. It's just better. So here's the reframing that's helping. Presence over performance. Better isn't louder. It isn't shinier. It's simple. It's simply being actually here. When she shows me something, I look with my face, not just my ears. Repair over perfection. Better arrives as I'm sorry, landing gently and soon. Not I'm sorry, but. No courtroom brief, just a bridge back to each other. Rhythm over balance. Balance implies stillness. You can measure with a ruler. Rhythm allows seasons. Some weeks are full, some are spacious. Rhythm says, miss the beat, rejoin the song. Boundaries over burnout. A kind not tonight to a good thing saves my yes for what actually matters. Noticing over judging. When I catch an old pattern, I try this line. Oh, look, I'm doing that thing again. Curiosity loosens what criticism tightens. And here's the truth I want her to inherit. Our children don't need us to model perfection. They need us to model recovery. How do we come back from a hard moment? How do we speak to ourselves afterward? How do we treat our bodies when they say enough? If I want her to practice kindness with herself, I have to let her see me practicing it with me. There's also a generalizational echo here. Many of us were taught to be low maintenance, to hold it together, to make it look easy. Our mothers and grandmothers did the best they could with the tools that they had. That was love in the language available to them. When I write in this notebook, I'm translating love into a dialect my daughter can hear now. And when I choose better, not perfect, I'm revising a family script, not erasing the past, but composting it into something nourishing. A simple compass, the 3 B's. Not rules, just a little North Star I can remember in the kitchen at 5 o'clock in the morning. Number 1, breathe. Physiology before philosophy. One fuller exhale changes a moment. Number 2, bridge. When I wobble, I build my way back. A touch, a laugh, a repair. Number 3, blessing. I name one true good in the room. For example, my coffee, good sleep, a good workout, AC, whatever works for you. I wrote a short letter simply for this episode. Sweet girl, one day you may think you have to tidy everything. Your room, your voice, your heart. Here's our family secret. Better is quieter and kinder than perfect. Better is a hand outstretched after a stumble. Better is the breath you take before the old story starts shouting. Better is telling the truth gently to others and to yourself. If you ever forget, check the margins. I've been leaving breadcrumbs. So, wherever you are, on a peak, in a valley, or on hold with dinner simmering, you're allowed to be stunningly human. Maybe today, better is a quieter tone. Maybe it's a real laugh when the plan changes. Maybe it's the note you leave in the mirror. Human is enough. I keep a tiny ritual I call the kitchen table confessional. Sometimes I do it in the shower, but no penance, no presents. I take a deep breath and speak these 3 lines. This was hard. Here's what I did well enough. Here's how I'll try kinder next time. 60 seconds. Different weather in the room. Perfection tells us to solve everything. Better tells us to stay long enough to hear what matters, soft enough to shift, honest enough to repair. If your eyes are stinging a little right now, breathe with me, hand over heart. Say, even if it's a whisper, even if it's in your mind, I am still the right mother for this child. I am still the right woman for this life. Belief grows by being spoken. Sip on this. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it human. And human is enough. Tonight, after the dishes and the bedtime swirl, write a tiny letter to your child, to your partner, to your past self, or to the heart beating in your chest. Seal it with the promise that better isn't perfect, just beautifully, steadily better. Tuck it in a book, slip it in a drawer, or place it under your pillow like a secret you're ready to live. Before we close, a mantra for your week. Try kinder, not harder. Repair counts. Better is enough. Thanks for sharing this cup of clarity with me. Until next time, be kind to yourself, breathe deep, and keep listening in. Thanks for spending a little time with me here on Caffeine and Clarity. If something stirred you today, let it sit. Let it steep. Clarity has a way of rising when we slow down. Until next time, keep sipping, keep feeling, and keep showing up for your own becoming. I'll see you next week.